Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm recording videos like crazy right now. I've been gone and I have all these things around the house that I need to do, and I'm trying to get everything recorded, but before my garden gets too big, I thought maybe I'd show it to you as it is now before everything really grows. And then I'll give you an updated one as things start to grow in the garden and start to come in. So, you want to see my garden? Let's go. It seems like every year we get later and later in putting our garden in. And with me being out of state taking care of my grandbabies last month, we are just now getting it in. It's not perfect. It still has some cleaning up that has to be done. I don't mean to keep bringing this up, but last year with my mom getting sick and then going in the hospital, and then we both got the you-know-what, and I was down for the whole month of August. I don't even remember August. And so, and mom died at the beginning of August, and I just let the garden go. And I mean, it was loaded with weeds and everything else, and everything just rotted in here because I just didn't have it in me. So this year we did things a little bit differently. We built another couple of beds. There's a large spot in the middle of the garden where we're going to put some more beds. It was originally intended for a greenhouse, but let me turn the camera around and I will get started in showing you what I've done. Not what I've done, what we've done. And when I say we, mostly Adam. So let me turn you around. I am standing in the middle of the garden. Chloe's upset because she can't get in here, but she thinks these boxes are her litter box and they're planted with seeds, so she's not coming in here. Even if they weren't planted with seeds, I don't want her in here. So this is actually my favorite end of the garden. I love the hoops. These are cattle panels that we have set just a few inches in. Well, maybe about a foot to 14, 16 inches, whatever, into the middle of these boxes. The boxes are 4x8. The whole garden is about 20 by 100, I believe is what it is, somewhere around there. And we have boxes at this end. We have these 6 that are 4x8, and these boards here are 10 inches. So they're 2x10s that are built 4x8. And then we put the 16-foot cattle panels over it. And how we did that was a T-post in the center of each box, set back to the depth that we wanted it, one on each side. And then we just zip tied them. The cattle panels, there's actually 2, you can see there's 2 cattle panels here because they're only 4 feet. And so we have a hoop over all of these beds. I love walking down through here when I plant cucumbers and stuff and they grow over the hoops. Keeps it really shady and I love it. I'm gonna walk you on down here before we start talking about what's in the beds. This year, Adam built me these 2 beds because this end of the garden didn't have anything in it. We actually expanded it when we put this fence up. And so he built me these 2 beds. And they have the 2x10 on the bottom and a 2x6 on the top. I would have to confirm that with him, and he's still at work. And then around the edge, the back edge, there is this skinnier bed. I think it's only 2 feet and goes in a horseshoe around this end of the garden. We don't have anything planted in this bed right now, this horseshoe, but we have some comfrey growing here. And the crazy thing about that comfrey, I planted that last year from seed, and I didn't think the seeds did any good. And Ladybug loves to get up in here and dig and lay. So there was probably more comfrey seeds there, and now there's not. And we're not sure if that's comfrey or not. The leaves have the same look as this. And I didn't even plant this comfrey down here, down this far. It was only planted up here in this area where there's absolutely nothing except weeds. So comfrey, and then nothing is planted here yet. This is where I'll plant my lettuces. I'm trying not to make you sick here. This and these two things and this here in the corner is kale that is left over from last year. This went through our winter, our snow and our ice, and still chose to come back up. Kale is like that though, very easy to grow. And that is all besides the comfrey that is in this little horseshoe. I originally thought I might put strawberries in this whole horseshoe, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to put them in another garden bed that we had that I'll show you later. Now in these two beds, there is nothing. The intention was to plant carrots here and parsnips over there, and it just didn't get done. I will plant some later on in the season, and they will just hopefully go ahead and come up and be a fall crop. Probably won't get as much, but I'm going to try it anyway. And then this bed has these on here, these little poles, because, and they're loose. Let me back up a bit. These poles are on here because this is usually where I plant peppers. And I moved the peppers this year. But we can grow peppers like nobody's business. They just grow well here. It's not us. They just grow well here, and they really like the soil in these beds. And I needed to prop them up against this. But this year, there are green beans in here because, as you can tell, this gets shaded in the later afternoon. And the green beans don't like the heat, and the peppers do. So I moved the peppers to the other end of the garden that I'll show you in a moment. So there's green beans in here, there's green beans in there, and there's green beans in there. We'll just wait for that truck to go by and move over here to this side. Another 3 beds, 4 by 8. There is nothing in here. I had started to plant green beans, and I thought maybe I want to plant something else in there. I'll go through my seeds and see. I haven't done that yet. That was yesterday. So anyway, there's nothing in this part of the bed. And then Roma tomatoes. And then this is Roma tomatoes. And just different varieties of tomatoes in that one. I've got some basil growing here. This is 4 grape tomatoes. This needs to be weeded. And then just different varieties. I've got Lemon Boy. I've got Cherokee Purple. I've got something called, was it Jubilee? Is that what it is? Do you know? Is that a tomato? But these are some of the tomatoes. These are the Romas. I said those were I don't know. All right, let's do this. When I plant, I always take the little stakes. Yep, these are Romas. I was correct the first time. These are Romas and grape tomatoes in this bed. In this bed, is just the variety of tomatoes, and I don't even know. I will tell you as they grow up what they are. This is lemon thyme and tomatoes. More lemon thyme, a ginormous bush of lemon thyme. This stuff loves these beds too. It's so beautiful. It's already starting to flower. Excellent with chicken. Oh my goodness. Oh, it smells so good. And it just hangs over the edge. This has been here for this is the 3rd year that this has been here. I'm going to have to thin it out. And we're back to the center of the garden. So we have the tomatoes are over here on this side. We have the green beans that are planted on that side. And in every one of these beds, we set these cattle panels back for a reason. I plant cool weather beets in here. All beets are cool weather, but I plant beets in here, and I thought about doing lettuces too. But on the inside of all of these beds this year is nothing but beets. And this is what I was fighting to get it in the ground yesterday before the rain came in. And then it didn't come in like it said it was going to. These beets are already growing up. I was going to succession plant, and time just got away from me being down there and back and forth, and needs to be weeded really, really, really bad. So on the inside of all of these beds is beets. In these 2 containers, these are elderberries, elderberry trees. One is Adam's and one is John's. I put these in here after we first got them. We got them from Stark Brothers. And I put them in here because I knew we weren't going to be able to get them in the ground right away. We got these bare root from Stark Brothers just a couple of months ago. They were sticks. They were literally sticks. They may have had a couple of leaves on them, but they were basically just sticks. And they are doing amazing. Amazing. Okay, let's go to the other end of the garden. This is the other end of the garden. I said the other end was my favorite, and then I turn around and I look at this, and this is my favorite. I like the hoops on the other end. But isn't this beautiful? I love the rings and the boxes in here. Now we have 2 or 4, 2 on each side of the same 4x8 boxes. And then these rings, I don't know their sizes. They do not have bottoms. They are actually planting bed rings. I know that's not the technical name for them, but and so they don't have bottoms. It's just rings. And we have a round one, an oval, and then another round one. And we have the 4x8 beds. Then down the center, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more rings. This is oregano. This is regular basil. The other was lemon basil. And this is lemon balm. I have more tomatoes in this bed. I do plant them closer together because we're in the beds. We can do that. I've got some more oregano growing there. I accidentally bought more because I forgot that one bed was almost overrun. And this is peppers. These are just regular peppers, different types of peppers, and there are several different types of tomato in that other bed there too. And like I said, we'll go over that as they start to grow. We'll see how they do. These peppers here in the middle are smaller than all the others because they were planted last, because when I bought them, they were teeny, teeny, tiny, and I just didn't feel comfortable putting them in the ground yet. Let's go over to the other rings. The rings are where I plant my herbs. So I have chives, flat leaf parsley. This is the third year for my dill to come back, and I'm very disappointed that this is all that is left. And this is bare. There's nothing in there. And over here, I have cilantro, rosemary, and sage growing in this ring. These are all brand new plants. I just got them in, and so they will just have to have time to grow up. And this last one is nothing but lamb's ear. I did have some lavender in here, but the lavender didn't make it. Yeah, sorry for my shadow being in there, but hey, it is what it is. And more peppers. These are the hot peppers. This whole bed is nothing but hot peppers. There's a bunch of jalapenos, there's Tabasco, and there's cayenne. And a little bare space over there because I didn't have another one to plant in there. This bed is also peppers, but these are like my specialty peppers is what I call them. I have pepperoncinis in here, I have sweet banana peppers, and there might be just some regular peppers too, I don't know. We had really strong rains yesterday, and I think I'm going to lose this little guy. It just pounded this little guy over, and looks like it might be pinched right there at the bottom. I don't know if I can get it to, I might have to stake that up to see if it's gonna live. Poor little guy, oops. But this is all peppers. And that ring, that is Swiss chard, I think. I don't eat that stuff, Adam does, and I just planted it for him last year. And it came back. Look at that. Look at that. It's huge. Huge. And that's what's in the other one too. There is nothing in this one yet. This is where I'll put my lettuces, probably. I do not have them in the ground yet. That's probably not a good thing because they will bolt if they get too hot. And this part of the garden gets the most sun. So maybe I should plant them in the horseshoe. I don't know that everything will get planted. I know it should, but we have a cherry tree there. That is blackberries. And let me go show you the blueberries. Just gonna turn back around and let you see the garden one more time. I love being out here. I love having the fabric down because with Adam's job, a lot of times, I think that's beautiful with that sun shining off of there like that. Let me get more in the shade. With Adam being gone a lot because of his job, I have to take care of this a lot by myself. So I like the fact that the fabric is down, even though there's some little weeds popping up through there. We need to redo the fabric. This was not a very thick fabric, so stuff started popping up through it pretty quickly. But I love my garden. And of course, these stakes here are for the tomatoes. And the tomatoes that are on the inside, I will just train. They're all indeterminate. I don't plant determinate tomatoes. All of mine are indeterminate. So I will just train them to go. They'll just have to lean when they get above that. So I love my garden. It is so pretty out here. It needs some more cleaning up, but Adam busted his hiney last weekend trying to get it, that silly cat, trying to get it cleaned up. She's so funny. Let me turn around and show you the other side. Here's the other side of the garden. Our garden is beautiful. I love having the fence post. I thought about painting them black, and then we started staining them black. And we started putting the fence up before I remembered, and I thought, just forget it. It'll be fine. So it is what it is. They're not black, but they're beautiful. And there's quite a bit of fence post that's left above the top of the fence. If we needed to, we could run a piece of barbed wire around the top because we have raccoons like crazy around here that will climb over the fences. And so if we needed to, we could put that up there. I do plan on decorating the garden. I've got something already in mind. I will show it to you. We didn't get to it last weekend, but hopefully we'll get to it this weekend. But we want to put some lights on the tops of some of these posts to, I don't know, just dress it up some. And like I said, I want to do some decorating out here. I'm going to back up. I'm standing between the oval ring and the first ring. There is this huge space here that's empty. We were going to put a little greenhouse there, just big enough that I could start my plants in, and we didn't get it done. But then Harbor Freight had a sale on their greenhouses, and we got one that is a 10 by 12, but we're going to put it up on the outside of the garden. And so this spot is where I'm going to do some decorating. Adam is going to build me some more beds so we can put in some more food. I don't know what, because it's just him and I. Oh, the horses are coming. I'd turn around and show you the horses, but my dad's house would be in the back, and I think that's rude. So I'm not going to show you the horses unless they come all the way down here and I can show you with the woods in the back. They come up a lot over here because they think I'm going to feed them, and I usually do. Wait a second, why was I coming down here? The horses distracted me. I don't remember why I came back down here. So I'm going to go show you the blueberry bush. Blueberry bushes. Our cherry tree. I don't like cherries, and golly, it looks like the birds have already, we'll go over there and look at it closer. And then this over here is our thornless blackberries. This is just flowers. That was my peonies and irises. So let's look at this blueberry bush closer while we're standing here. They're already starting to turn. Isn't that beautiful? I love blueberries. So do the chickens, and so do the dogs. We used to have a little fence around these blueberry bushes. And Sadie, silly girl, would stick her nose through. She looked so funny. I wish I had a picture, but she would stick her nose through the fence to try to get the blueberries. So pretty. Gonna be time to pick these before too long. This is my favorite. That is just so beautiful. Okay, let's go look at this cherry tree. It looks like the birds have already gotten most of them. Everybody says these are really good. They grow out of the ground every spring, and we give them away. But yeah, oh my gosh. Over the weekend, this thing was loaded with this cherry tree was loaded with blueberries. This cherry tree was loaded this weekend. And now they're gone. The birds have gotten them. I was gonna pick some and make a little bit of cherry pie fill into can for Adam, because he likes cherry pie. Oopsie. And the blackberry bush. Let me go on the other side so my shadow's not in here. The blackberry bush over the weekend was loaded with blossoms, and now it's getting the blackberries on them. These are thornless. These are very, very easy to transplant. If these lay on the ground, these will take root right into the ground and grow even more. I was trying to see. Adam pretty much keeps it mowed around it. No, I think he's pretty much taken care of it. But we give these away, starts off of this all the time, because it's really easy to transplant. So that's it. You want to see Adam's favorite thing? Let me show you something. Now there's a lot of weeds in here. But this and this and all of this and that, that's my mint. When Adam's grandma died, I dug some of it up and I planted it in the front, just in a little bunch. And of course, I did not know that mint would take over, and it surely has. And it's full of weeds because I won't let him mow it down. I mean, he does, and it just comes right back. But mint all along this side of the house. And then if we go around the corner here, there's more mint. And Adam just loves this. He surely does. And then it does stop right here. This stuff is really tall though. We need to clean our house. We need to get the pressure washer out. But that's Adam's fave. Just ask him about it. See, I really do have stuff that I do outside the house. I'm not just always in the kitchen. I love it out here, but when it's hot, there are times that I'm out here at 5:30 in the morning because I can't stand the heat, and my fair Irish skin just burns, even with the SPF 50 on. So I have to get out here really early, or I have to get out here this time of day, so if I want to get anything done. So I usually come out of a morning and I do some work, and then I go in the house and I clean up, and then I start doing stuff either in the kitchen or just cleaning the house in general, or working in my studio. And then I come back out in the evening if I'm not pooped. So that's my garden. So if you like my little garden as much as I do, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and stay tuned so you can have more updates on what's going on out here. In the meantime, if you want to see what's going on in the house, be sure and subscribe. Try watching this video here. See if you like it. And I'll see you in the next one. God bless.